Hello and welcome to this presentation with Allgon. My name is Eric Castle. I'm an analyst here at ABG. And with us today we have Johan Hårdén, the CEO of Allgon, and he'll give a short 20-minute presentation followed by a Q&A from me. And please go ahead, Johan.
Thank you. Let's start this presentation about Allgon. My name is Johan Hårdén, the CEO for Allgon. Starting strong recovery, we are operating at the same level as before the pandemic. And now we're setting up for 2021 and planning for the next few years. Our success is based on strong enduring relationships with a wide selection of industrial companies in the Nordic countries, Europe, and the world. We're also putting major efforts in continued expansion. We're currently the 5th biggest player in the world, and we have every chance becoming the top company or one of the leading companies in our market. Today, in this presentation, I would like to explain what our route to success is, how we think, develop, and work. If you would like to briefing on our reports, results, and margin, please give me a call or email after this session and I will set up meeting one-to-one with me and my CFO. Go to slide number 2. Our presence, our priority, our expansion. For those of you not familiar with the industrial radio remote control, what is it? We control, secure, streamline, and measuring, working with machinery, cranes, and technology. Our products and services add simplicity and speed to the sector and enable it to operate with greater precision. You will find us in steelworks, mines, wind turbines, boats, lorries, etc., especially in the heavy industries. In short, we are part of the backbone of the world economy. This place demands on us, but also presents opportunities. So I will talk today about our present or strong long-term business relationships. Our priority, we talk about playing a key role, 24/7, a role that we continuously developing. Our expansion, how we do this, growing existing customers and new customers in both mature and new markets. And we're also developing new technologies and services. Please go to slide 3. Our presence, our promises. This year, 2020, Allgon has demonstrated decisiveness and drive. We have continued and fulfilled promise in extreme circumstances. We support the heavy industry to maintain the develop their core business. We guarantee delivery, develop, and adapt our offer. And we are strong local presence. And as you can see, recently we announced India, and now we are representing in 19 markets. Our secrets, what is it? It's a well-oiled machinery. It keeps steadily going, it improving a little all the time. You can see this in a stable growth. We talk about growth in our segment market in the past few years, and the general growth is around 10 to 11%. We expect in the coming years 15 to 20% per year in a long-term perspective. Our bridgeheads, and I will come back to this key number, is 10,000 close customer relationships, which are very important for us. We get close to our customers and we particularly walk in their shoes, so that our technology solution and skills provide the renewal the sector needs every day. This helps us build a real customer satisfaction and loyalty, and enable us to take market share as a result. To sum up, rather than derailing us, that the events of 2020 have strengthened us. With our customer, we once again stepped up to the mark. We have acquired market share like the sector globally, and we are ready for 2021. Go to slide 4. Our priority, we we produce key products that are highly valued in the sector. We often guarantee the activity at the very core of the business. We promise stability. We talk about 24 hours a day, while the sector talk about just in time, especially in the industry. We promise full uptime every day. That's a key word for us. And we exceed expectations and achieve high margins as a result in terms of both quality and price. Our customers are not particularly price sensitive, but more than anything, extremely quality sensitive. So we build strong, stable relationship and margins, loyalty, and long-term perspective. And that's why we will never compete in a low-end market. Our customers expect us to continue to develop products and services to help them with their journeys together to become greater, smarter, productivity, and also efficiency. That's where our priority key role lies. So, conclusion, we have only really scratched on the surface. Our customers want to use us in a broader ways, involving increased customization. They are willing to pay and want long-term contracts. And you see our business model, a customer first purchase is often one of our standard products. After that, we train the customers to raise their expectation of themselves and also for us. These days, 70% of our sales are customized products and also including services. This is why we really stand out, because unlike many other companies, we have succeeded in complying with stringent and legal requirements for the certification, which is very important, while also meeting specific demands for customization solution in a cost-efficient way. We also increasingly have a role in extracting data from customer business and using it to increase growth. To sum up this slide, our priority, Allgon guarantees stability, efficiency for its customer, and this now and also in the future. And because of this, we are our highest priority, and also for our customers, it's very important, particularly when they are growing, and we grow together with them. Go to slide 5. Our expansion, I want to explain this and emphasize. With every customer, Allgon is expanding, mainly in our relationships with our customer. We are growing into a broader role in the sector. We're also expanding in terms of new technologies, customization, and services. Our most important and demanding customers are to be found in the heavy industries. This is where most of our growth is. Profit margins are definitely highest here. Because of this, we can also add a lot of value. We are aware that in the midst of the trend of addressing greater stability, efficiency, and not at last, the climate issue. We work steadily to increase levels of income per customers with the help of technology. Skills and services also. Customization can build up priority and loyalty, but we can also, it's a way for us to build our shared expansion. In fact, the 7 of 10 deliveries from Allgon are customizing our key factors in our growth, outstripping that of the market. There are also increasing of digitalization, which is definitely been affecting the pandemic. More and more companies want to obtain, analyze, and use the process control data and link it to the management. We are already undertaking data analysis for a number of major Swedish business. It's like company SSAB and Boliden and these mining company. They have starting this process. Many more companies expecting to follow this and embark upon similar projects within the coming year. At Allgon, services and sales are closely interwoven and essential both for the customer and us. With additional digital channels, services, customization increasingly go hand in hand. But we also like to be on site alongside our customers, trying out a solution as they work, so that we can give an even better understanding what the next step need to be. To sum up this expansion, we are expanding alongside our current customer in the current market, but we're also expanding geographically. Go to slide 6. Our expansion, I will describe this geographically. Year by year, we have expanding. Allgon expand its map around the world. Most recently, we have begun operating in Brazil, Russia, and France. So we are growing both our mature markets and new markets. Only a few weeks ago, we opened the third site in Germany so that we can be closer to the customer at our home, together grow with our customers. It's very important for us. Our expansion is also not a high risk, it's a low risk. First of all, we have our distributor network added value. To what they are doing, they establish and cultivate the market on our behalf. And a result of this, both we and our customer are fully aware of the prospects and also demand. Our aim is to establish 2 completely new markets every year. And each new market will be profitable with 2 and 3 years. That's our expectation of what we can see, our track record. New markets often grow from that level 30 to 40% each year, which are twice if you compare to the rest of the group of subsidiaries. We built up each local market by delegating significant responsibility locally and also supporting them from our head office and also from our production facility, which are in China and Vietnam. Acquisition is also a possibility to grow for companies and also for Allgon. We have a list of several strong candidates, but we also have extremely high in the selection of the quality. So I will come back to this in the coming years and also in our road forward. Please go to slide number 7. Takeaway conclusion, our presence, our priority and expansion. With our pillars of presence, priority and expansions, Allgon is set to develop with one of the sector global top players. For us, it's not important to be the biggest in terms of volume. We want to be best in customer value, technology, and also margins. Alongside the world's leading industrial companies, we go hand in hand. As I said before, we are not product that is nice to have. We are definitely need to have a critical link in the industrial perspective. And we will achieve that by doing exactly what we have done in the key year of 2020, guiding our customers, trusting relationship, holding on to our high-ranking products that are part of the backbone of the industry, and growing both with existing customers and also with a new customer to expand our market share. An existing and growing business, this is how Allgon is promised and priority for a customer, and this is the road to continue expansion. So if you go to next slide. This is question site, and of course we hope that we have some questions from the listeners.
Presentation. So yesterday you announced that the Tailor Radio will begin sales in India. Could you comment on the market dynamics in India as opposed to your latest establishment in, for instance, Russia and Brazil? And what made you choose India over other markets?
We had a roadmap clearly, as I mentioned during my presentation, Russia, France, and and Brazil was the entities we started last year. And as I mentioned, it takes 2 to 3 years before we can see profitability in that. The roadmap for India was clear to the plan for this year. And of course, the pandemic was a little bit struggling, but we succeeded that. And the major key thing to the roadmap to open up in India was that we're finding the right employees. It's very difficult for us in other cases when we talk about distributor model, but in this case, we find the right employees to start up in India.
All right. And is the market dynamics any different from the others?
Yeah, of course, if you can compare India, it's not, they are not in the level as you can see in Europe. We are very close to the industry in this terms of safety first. I mean, in India, we have a huge potential to grow together with the customer, and also in the level of awareness of the safety, they are not at least not comparable to the levels in Europe.
All right, thank you. And then how long do you think it will take to get operations up and running in India, and with the current conditions? And then also, when will this be noticeable in the numbers?
I mean, when I talk about 30 to 40% in growth, you need to remind that we start from a low level, but it takes 2 years before you can see the numbers profitable shares in Allgon. But still, we have all the country we are expanding to. We have already customer, not so many, but we can always start from some kind of level.
Thank you. And then you weathered the first wave of COVID-19 relatively well. And then now looking at the so-called second wave of Corona, how is it progressing so far in Q4?
We don't give any forecast, and we didn't do that during our last hearing, but we can compare it Q1, Q2, Q3. You can see the 15% decrease in Q2, and then we came back to -3% during Q3. So the signal and what we can see is that we have recovering quite well, not 100% back if you compare the 90s.
All right. And then also on customers, are you seeing them pushing investment decisions forward, or kind of what's the main drivers in your end market?
Of course, it's investment also to invest in new technology. Yeah, you can see it definitely in Q1 and actually Q2. You can see a hesitation from the customer, but during Q3 we saw the opposite, that they were coming back and take the decision. And I think that for the industrial perspective, it was no one was really prepared on this. Of course, you hesitate and take a step back before you can get control. But as I said, we live very close to the industry customers, so we are actually follow the same way they are doing. So yeah, we can see the investment decision has going forward in Q3.
All right, perfect. And then lastly, what's your hope for 2021 when it comes to geographical expansion, but also M&A?
M&A is quite difficult now because we have a list of numbers, but the pandemic is still out there, and we expect and we have set the course for Allgon to expand next year, also with 2 new subsidiaries. But at the moment we steer and control of the pandemic situation all the time. So I don't want to promise anything about acquisition, but I can definitely promise that we are follow a roadmap to establish new markets, definitely.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much for hosting this presentation with us, Johan, and also to everyone listening in. We will return shortly with the last presentation of today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.